Welcome back to the channel. I am sgtsimracer. We'll get straight into it. This is round 2 of the Club 73 Group 4 Championship. So we're taking in Monza this time round. Typically not too bad in practice once again, but tanked it in qualifying. So I think I started way back down in 10th or 11th. We're under very strict instructions here to have a clean lap 1. No hero manoeuvres or torpedoing into the first chicane, so we'll see how we fare as we're fast approaching the braking zone. I brake nice and early there, not too worried given my pace in practice. I'm not really too worried if someone comes past me at this point. As always for these Club 73 rounds, half an hour is a long time, so Sam there just decides that was his moment, and I was happy to let him, happy to oblige. So we'll just stick to the back of this Renault, the big Lexus V8, making absolute short work of catching him up as we go into the second chicane. I get confused what the chicanes are called. Are they Lesmos? Wow, lovely, look at that. Blimey, hit some apexes for once in my life, not bad. So we're right back where we started, which is good. We've got a penalty up front already. Let's see if he takes it like an absolute trooper, armed and dead, good man. And we hit another apex, blimey. I think it's starting to sink in. So we've got a nice little gaggle up front. I'm well in slipstream here. Now of course I'm also kind of mindful that we're barreling up to yet another chicane, and I've got a slipstream, so now completely blind to my brake marker there, but nonetheless I get her slowed down. Tucking in by this gaggle of Renaults. Renault very popular in Group 4 in our championship here. I think I may be the only Lexus. I'd have to look back, I don't recall. Nonetheless, we make short work of another Renault. And am I going to go for a hero manoeuvre? Nope. Although someone, I think is that Paul? Yeah, Paul duty obliges. Young and 66, oh god, I'll get bounced around between him and Batters. Batters there with a penalty. So again, like an absolute trooper, takes his penalty. Good job. So penalty zones, pretty much this time round, it's take it as soon as you get it. Obviously somewhere sensible, somewhere off the braking line, preferably on the straight. Good bit of braking there, heaving it down. Everyone going a bit nuts. Sam Luke's there, fancied his chances. Oh, I think we got through that. Nothing too dirty. Sam there just sat on my rear corner. Obviously all the while I'm mindful that if I move over too early on him, then that little clip will just send you spinning off into the shadow realm. If I'm ever big enough to be to ever meet Super GT, then I apologise in advance for ripping off your sayings so early on. Crano there, nice. Sorry on the back of his of that gorgeous McLaren. He decides he's going to go and clean some gravel for a living. So not bad. So now a championship or a group of drivers that I normally struggle to get anywhere near top 10. I'm up in 5th. So we just fast forward. Wasn't really a lot going on at that point. We're just catching Curly there in that stunning blue Aston Martin, and the legs this Lexus has got. I mean, we're in kind of Usain Bolt territory here. Check this out. That Aston Martin just cannot compete with that raw Asian V8 power. Lexus still Japanese? It's basically a posh Toyota, isn't it? Sure it is. Anyway, nonetheless, let's tuck in behind that stunning Aston Martin. You're just pulling chunks out of him. I know a lot of that is slipstream, but nonetheless, this Lexus does seem to make short work of people. Look at that, we're getting kind of PB sectors here, getting the blue light come up. Lovely through there. What on earth happened to third place? As we're catching him, he's going to tuck in, and I was going to go for it. Had so much speed, carried straight round here. Now obviously I'm tanking into the corner way late, and somehow stuck it. God only knows how. So I'm leading it into the pits, so this little group, in 3rd. Can you believe it? 3rd. this is the highest I've ever actually been in one of these series in this league. Okay, so we're going to take a full tank of fuel. There's no point kind of cutting it short at this point. I'm on a 2-stop strategy. I know some of the guys have gone for a 1-stop. I just simply don't have the skill at the moment to conserve the fuel. Alright, we're good as we go into the chicane at the end of the pit straight once again. Nice and clean. Can I hold it together? The Lexus getting a bit squirty there. So I've just let that pack get away. Silly mistake, a little bit too early on the gas. As we forward up, we'll just let the pack get away a bit. And we see, oh, look, Curly just slamming through there. That's okay, Robin's racing, no one spun. We'll consider that a clean manoeuvre. No hard feelings there at all as we just latch onto the back of that Aston Martin through the fast right hand curve. The Lexus just taking chunks out of him. Now obviously I'm thinking I've got to brake a little bit earlier, so I kind of lose. It's actually probably worse slipstreaming someone through this section. Nonetheless, I get an excellent exit through there. Curly gives me the room I need, so I duly take it. Thank you very much, I'll have that space. As we go into the next right hander, quick little back shift into third, tuck it in, power on. Lovely. Alright, so we pick up a little bit further down the line now. So we've got about 10 minutes left. I'm probably still a couple of laps away from fuel, and I've caught back up to 4th. Now this I'm seeing, I think there's that batters up front there with a penalty. I go a little bit wide because I'm getting all excited. We've got Paul there that we see once again. All these guys are front runners and I have no place. Whoop, there we go. Batters there, being an absolute trooper again, taking his penalty. There I go, getting another personal best sector. Just latching onto the back of these fast guys, and it teaches you so much. It has taught me so much. So really, the only time I lose now is if I make a silly mistake. So let's not speak too soon, eh? Right, so I'm just zeroing in on Paul now. Now a little bit of target fixation here, but I know these guys are consistent, so I don't mind following them, looking on to what they're doing. I could have stayed in his slipstream a bit, kind of struggled there. Nonetheless, that Lexus just biting in, using all that power just to, in this case, not let the GTR get away. GTR is particularly quick, I noticed, but the Lexus is easily a match for it, easily. Hard on the brakes, maybe for me a little bit too hard. Whoa, I caught that sausage curb, just threw me off the line, trying to get it going again. Lost all my momentum there. So there's a lesson for you, do not hit those sausage curbs out as batters comes past me again. No problem at all, you come through, mate. You know, there's some wars you need to pick, and he's a much faster driver than I. There's no point me holding up his race. Happy, frankly, to sit, watch, learn. You know, I've only been at this a couple of weeks, and if I'm able to just keep these guys in sight, I think that is quite an achievement. So we are just going to skip forward a touch. Now, again, penalties. Time penalties again, taken like absolutely perfectly there. No fault from Paul at all. So closing on batters, actually making a bit of time on some of these guys in some cases. And look, I can see second place. I mean, this is like, inside, if I was wearing a crash helmet in an actual car on the track, I think I'd be going nuts right now. So we come round into that third gear for me anyway, right hander. So I haven't done any of the track experience here, and like an absolute idiot, I tank it, spin it. That's it. Now I'm thinking, I'm waiting to kind of see the 12th place, the dreaded 12th place, or even worse, 16. But I realise we have got quite a gap to the back, so just so disheartening. That little touch on the grass, got a little bit too enthusiastic. But the aim of the game is keep your cool. After all, we don't rage quit. No siree, no rage quitting for us. And then apexes are certainly not for wimps now, because we know apexes are fast, especially around Monza. So we are just going to try and keep it. Just try and keep our cool. We've got to come into the pits now anyway. Oh, just what a bad time to spin. I can see these guys look like, are they going to go in the pits? Yes, they are. So I've got absolutely nothing to gain. Probably a bit of poor timing as well on my behalf. With only a couple of laps left. Now again, something I need to learn, and this may be right for some of you, is knowing how much fuel to put in given the amount of laps left. Now we have a certain percentage of fuel usage on, so you're kind of judging it. I'm judging 4 laps, stupidly, because I finished the race with way too much fuel. I probably could have taken 2 seconds out of that. Whether it in reality would have made much difference to the outcome of the race, I don't know. But certainly had the race been closer, yeah, being aware of how much fuel you actually need is going to be a huge factor as I gingerly go through there. Much better just to lose some time but not your momentum, if that is even a thing. That sounds like an oxymoron. Okay, so we cut through. We have got 3.5 minutes left and I get another penalty. Now I thought I'll slow down. I just hit the brakes too hard. I don't know what happened. Just a silly manoeuvre. I'm in 9th place. I've got 3 minutes to go and a second spin. And worse is that was a penalty and a simple slowdown would have sufficed. Right, we'll speed back up. Got 1 minute left. I caught up to Curly, made short work of Curly. I don't know what happened to him. I'm assuming he maybe ran out of fuel. I think he comes into the pits. So you see is the little P come up in a moment as we go down the pit straight. So I'm back in 8th. So this already is an absolute result. As I cross the line, I now know that I've got 1 lap left and all I've got to do is keep it together for 1 lap. Top 10 finish. You've got 1 lap not to screw it up, Sarge. So just hold it together. Fast, hard braking points. Down through that gearbox. Let those gears run out. Lovely. That's it, nice. Waiting for the penalty for cutting that corner. Does it come? Doesn't seem like it does. Nope, good. So we'll just go into that fast right-hander. Just nibble at the curb. I think I touch the curb? Yep, just a touch. Come out wide. I didn't find the need to go way wide towards where the cone is. Again, just brake just past the cone. Down into 3rd. Don't take the mick too much on these corners. You can see how the car bounces over them sausage curbs. I mean, as I've found out already, they can penalise you quite badly. The red final lap comes up the top there. For a moment, I get a scare thinking I've got a penalty. Nonetheless, keep our cool. Down into 3rd, just back on the throttle. Right, now there's only 1 point left now that I can badly screw up, and that is the chicane. We are fast approaching. I'm happy with 8th. 8th is an absolute result for us, especially in this group. Maybe should have been top 5, but there you go, that's racing for you. And I'm waiting for the penalty. I took way too much of that corner out. And the penalty doesn't come. So inside I'm like, yes, I've done it. Now to my mind, I'm sure I should have got a penalty for that, and I'm sure there's a penalty I got earlier which caused my little spin. Nonetheless, no penalty, that's fine. No one challenging us from behind. So it looks like 8th place in the bag. What an absolute result. There you go, confirmed. As we let the board come up, 8th position. There you go, thank you Gran Turismo for confirming. So, hope you enjoyed that. As always, please like and subscribe and I will see you next time.